Hey Model Maniacs, Dirk here, getting ready to do that all-important kit review so that you, the model junkie, can make an informed decision on what kits you want to spend your hard-earned cash on. Tonight we're going to be looking at AMT's Vulcan Shuttle from the movie Star Trek The Motion Picture. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to another kit review. We're going way back in our kit review time machine to 1979, from when AMT put out the Vulcan Shuttle for the movie Star Trek The Motion Picture. Now the reason I'm doing this is, well, if you watch, you know I usually don't just do willy-nilly kit reviews. I usually do the stuff that, one, I would do it whenever the kit first came out and I was able to be the first one to get my hands on it. But now that my hobby shop went the way of the dodo, that doesn't happen very often. The other thing I like to do is old kits. I always try, before I buy a kit, I always try to find a review or some sort of, do research on it to find out what I'm getting into. Because I've gotten burned a couple times where I just, if I had known what I known when I opened the box, when I got it, I would never have bought it. So I like to do reviews, and sometimes it's just not possible anymore. As much information that is out there today with YouTube and such, these videos, which I find the best way to look at it, they're just not really there. If they're there, I can't find them, or they're just so deep they're not coming up in my search. Okay, but this one I did try to search because this has been re-released. It's got new round 2 has done it. They've modified it and made it better, or so they claim. So the question would be then for most people would be, well, should I get the old one or should I get the new one? So I figure, what the hell, we got some time, we'll do a kit review, and then you can make that decision when you feel like it. I mean, you'll have all the information you need to make that decision. Okay, well, kind of partially. You'll use this in conjunction with somebody else's video that did the new release. There are reviews for the new one out there. I haven't gotten one, and even if I did, I wouldn't do a review because, well, there's plenty out there. So enough rambling. So this is the original kit from 1979. It's got the warp slit on the cover with the black space-like background. It's a very you always can tell the motion picture stuff when they come out because it all looks the same. So it's got this nice picture of it on the box. You flip it up on the side, it gives you a little information. The new Star Trek shuttle. It gives you the stuff about the shuttle here. So it tells you that it's over 10 inches long. That the shuttle piece, the cabin here, separates from the warp sled itself. It tells you it's got some dry erase transfers on here instead of water slide decals. It comes with a base. You can suspend it in the air with string like we all used to do when we were a kid. And then you've also got these, supposedly these rainbow type decal stickers, really is what they are, in the box. Not really sure what they're for, but they are there. The side of the box kind of looks like the rest of the box. Okay. Some more pictures here of what it looks like. Okay, profile pictures. A little bit about the kit. Okay. So let's take a look inside. And what we find when we get inside is not a lot of parts, but enough. I mean, not every kit has to have 1,001 parts. We find the kit molded in plastic, white, molded in plastic, no shit, Sherlock. Molded in white plastic. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues of parts. I forget how many parts are in here. I thought I did a count, but they're, well, 4 sprues worth. Okay, let's put it that way. And let's take a look at what we got. Okay, let me move this out of the way, and we can take a better look at these. Okay, the first piece we're going to come across, again, keep in mind this is from 79 is the cabin piece itself, and you could see what the top of the shuttle looks like. This is the front. It's got a sink mark here, okay, but it does have some details on the side, on the top, okay. It's pretty void of details on the side. Same with the back and here. If you remember in the movie, there's actually windows in here. Now maybe the decals or transfers show the have them to represent, but you know, they're not there. You've probably got the floor. I'm not exactly sure what all the parts are, but you've got some more of the cabin here. I'm assuming the floor of the cabin. You've got these here are the end caps from the warp nacelles. And if memory serves me, Don's Light and Magic has replacement parts for these, where the back of these are clear or open, which allows you to light them up. Okay. We got some more parts here. I'd be lying if I told you I knew exactly what they were, because I don't. Okay, but this is what they look like. They're molded pretty well. Alright. There's the back sides, nothing special. You've got the main body of this. This part, the bottom part with the nacelles on, is called the warp sled. And then you got the cabin that goes on top. I believe it's also been rebranded as the warp sled. Or in some cases it's also the Vulcan Shuttle like it was in the movie. Okay, but that's what you get there, the main body. This here, this is the airlock. Okay, which you can't see in the camera, it's washed out with the white, but it's got a representation of the airlock doors. Okay, you can't, it's just hard to see, but it is there. It's not horrible at all. And this part here glues onto the back right here. That's where that's going to go. This whole section right here, my hand, is what came off the sled and flipped over and docked with the Enterprise during the movie, and then Spock got out. Okay. This, I believe, is the bottom of this piece here. I believe that is a hole for the stand. I could be wrong. Again, this is really the first time I'm actually looking at the parts. I probably should have looked at it before I got on the camera with you guys, but you know, hey. This here, not sure what that looks like. Looks like a club that belongs to Fred Flintstone, though. We've got our base. Okay, the base part. There is a part here that goes from the base to the warp sled. Alright, you've got some more detail parts here. Some sort of wall. Whoops, just lost the base. Some sort of wall here. It really is kind of void of detail. I believe the round 2 one is a lot more detail. I think it's a new tool. Okay, but again, I can't speak to that. You can look online and see. These are the warp nacelles. Okay, your traditional thing that type chiller grills or whatever you want to call them that you see from the motion picture. I've seen people light these up. Again, you can cut these out and get replacement parts from Don's Light and Magic, and you can light these up, and which is cool. But as far as I remember, they weren't lit up in the movie, so I mean, you can go either way. I think lighting it would make it come alive a lot better, but you don't have to because they weren't lit in the movie. I think this actually appeared for like 40 some odd seconds on screen in the movie, and they came out with a kit for it. It did do a reappearance in Star Trek's Of Gods and Men, if you've seen that. It's a new release of about a year or two ago, when they bring that out, and it's got even less screen time, but it was pretty cool. And that's the parts. Within a couple minutes, we're done. Instructions are here. Very, very small little fold-out piece with the instructions. I mean, it's that simple. Okay. I mean, 3 steps and you're done. Also comes with some Star Trek propaganda. Okay, posters that you can buy. Yay, huzzah. Wonder if anybody has these original posters left over from back then. Probably be worth something. I wonder if we could fill this out and send it in. Alright, then we got a loose part. Engine detail. Keep that in there. Here we got those stickers I told you, the metallic stickers. It looks like it's got grills. That's what it's supposed to be on there. I didn't look at the directions to see where they go. Let's see the directions again, if it tells us. I don't think they've got decal plate. No, they don't. Decal placement is not on here. It doesn't show you where they go. What I believe they tell you to do is go on the box to about here, I believe, and using this as a reference, or this as a reference for your decal location. I think that's what you're supposed to do. See, here's those windows I was telling you about earlier that are missing. So you have an idea. Here's your transfers. Here is the transfers. Put the paper behind it so you can see. It was called the Surak. It's got Vulcan writing, I guess. More identification. Here's the windows. They do come in dry transfer, so you can put them in their place. And that's really it. Just a bunch of markings in Terran language and then in Vulcan. Okay? Not much to the kit at all. Now, the new kit, again, I believe is a retool. It comes with more detail. It also comes where this has a dry erase sheet that's a quarter of a page, not even, and some goofy stickers which never stay. The new one comes with, I believe the changes were at least to the docking ring, which we saw here, right here by my thumb. I believe that's been retooled. I would assume there's more detail to the sides of this. I don't know for fact. But the biggest kick that it comes with is 2 full sheets of decals. 2 nice big decal sheets. And it allows you to do the Vulcan Shuttle, and it allows you to do a Federation warp sled, whichever you choose. This, like I said, didn't come with it, but thanks to the kindness and generosity of people in the community, I have a set of decals. Give me a minute, I'll get back and I'll show you how they look. Alright, be right back. Okay, so what you see here is one of the differences between the original AMT shuttle, which I just showed you, and the Polar Lights retooled kit. The AMT kit comes with this little sheet of dry transfers that you saw before, whereas the Polar Lights kit comes with 2 8.5 by 11 sheets of decals. There's a cross between decals and decals. Decals. Anyway, 2 full sheets. This is cool. This gives you a lot of opportunities to make your shuttle look, well, more realistic. I mean, it's a lot more patterns in here for shading, for, you know, to make those alternate panels and stuff like that. You can see here, these are the call it yellower tan type ones, which are supposed to be for the Vulcan Shuttle, and you have these over here, which would be the bluer ones, which would represent the Starfleet one. Now I believe there's also a mix match across the board. I'm gonna have to get an instruction sheet for the newer kit that'll show me where all these goes, because the current kit doesn't. So but these were sent to me by a fellow member of the community. This is great. I'm not sure these are exact size yet. I have to check them out. There's a little bit. He said it was a 8x12 sheet. This came with a border. When I printed it out, I think I have to get rid of this border and then print it to get it to be perfect. But this gives me an idea. I can play with this a little bit and get an idea if how they're going to fit. If I was to take this and I can match it up, it's almost spot on. It's a little bit, this paper, this one here is a little bit smaller, but it's nominal. I'm not sure if it would make a difference if I was to print these out and use these as it is, or take the effort to make them without the rim, make them just a scotch bigger, full size. And yes, scotch is a proper term of measurement. But anyway, that's the big difference to me in this shuttle and the new shuttle. With these, I'll be able to make mine very much like the new one. Oh, the other thing I mentioned, I forgot to mention, is that this kit, as you saw before, came in molded in white plastic. The new one, from what I understand, comes in a mauve or purplish type color. According to what I've read online, the original shuttle, despite what it looked like on film, was actually purplish in color. The lighting and everything reflected and made it look that burnt rust, brownish type color. But in actuality, the studio model is a purplish mauve type color, and that's what it comes molded in if you get the new kit. Now, I'm not sure if we covered this earlier or not, but the differences now, I mean, basically, you can go out and get the new kit. It really does. I think it's going to be a nice kit, and it comes with these great decals. But again, you have to toss the prices. You know, the prices are on average about $25 or so, or higher for the new kit. This kit here I got for about $20, but without the decals. So really, you know, they're up in the air. They're close enough that, to be honest with you, I'd probably spend my money on the new kit rather than the old one. Of course, at this point, it doesn't matter because I have the old one. But they're so close in comparison. I don't really, and I got these decals. I don't think there's any need for me to say I'm going to get rid of the old one and use the new one. You know, but basically now, after this review, I would hope that you guys can, out there who are interested in this kit, can make an educated decision whether you want to get the old or the new, and then go from there. Save a couple bucks by getting the older one. And then again, some of the older kits are going for a lot more money because people think because they're old they're worth more. To a builder, most likely not so. To a collector, well, that's a different story. I've always considered myself a builder and not a collector. So also, just for the record, I have these decals now. So if you do have the old AMT kit, or you find the AMT kit for a decent price and you want to get that as opposed to the newer one, just drop me a line and I'll be glad to send you a copy of these decals. They were given to me, so there's no reason in the world that I wouldn't turn around and return the favor to other people. So if you find the older kit for cheaper, you could still use the new decals for it. So that's it, guys. That's it in a nutshell. That's it. That's final. We actually spent a lot of time on this for such a small kit and small count part kit, but you know, I hoped it helped. That's the goal of these films, to make it so you guys have, you know, a really good idea when you go to decide to buy what kits you want to buy. So until next time, guys, be strong.